Sarah Boone handed the judge another letter today, and apparently this letter was not uploaded for the world to see. So when it is, we'll definitely take a look at it and read it. But she was in a pretrial hearing today, and if you guys read the letter, she's been wanting to appear in these trials, pretrial stuff. And she was here today with her lawyer as well, I believe. Now, her trial was scheduled to happen on July 24th, which is on Monday, I believe. Yeah, Monday. Same time, actually, as Taylor Schabiz as well. But they pushed it out for now to October 2nd. But it seems like, I think her defense team, I don't think they think that that's a date where they're going to be ready. But we're going to have a pretrial conference on September 8th and then September 20th as well. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that. But for now, it's on the books that the trial is going to happen on October 2nd. We'll watch some of the clip-ins. Well, actually, we're just going to watch the whole thing. Law and Crime, thank you so much. Uploaded the video. We'll watch the entire thing. It's only about 8 minutes long. We're going to listen to the pretrial stuff. And then we're going to segue over to... What else did I want to cover today? Oh! Oh, my gosh. Alexee Trevizo's lawyer did an interview with, I think, Court TV. And they uploaded it yesterday. I watched it, but I'm going to watch it again with you guys. We already know that Alexi Trevizo and her defense team, they're going to blame the hospital. They're going to say that she didn't know she was pregnant, I guess, until she gave birth in the bathroom. But they're going to blame the hospital. They're going to say there's negligence, that she was pumped up with a lot of medications and stuff like that. So we'll watch that together. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Hi, Eileen. Hi, Dave. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Sean. Hi, Melissa. How are you doing today? Brandon, what's going on? Hello. Happy Friday. I'm sorry I started so late. I was intending to start early because I knew that we had the Schabiz pretrial stuff happening and then Sarah Boone as well. Like if you guys saw my Discord message, I woke up really early today, and then I had a really big breakfast. I don't know. I ate like, it was like Thai food. It was pork with rice and some like pink gravy stuff. I don't know. It was really heavy. And then I had more pork, crispy pork, and some veggies. And then after I ate, I was like, I'm going to sit on the couch for a little bit. And I just fell asleep for like 2 to 3 hours. So, way to be so efficient with waking up early today. But anyways, after we talk about, let's see, so we got Sarah Boone stuff that we're going to watch, and then we're going to watch some of the Alexee Trevizo's lawyer interview. And then afterwards, you guys remember Lori Vallow. I don't know if you guys forgot about Lori Vallow, but she was found guilty about maybe like over a month or so for the murders of her 2 kids, JJ and Ty Lee, and I believe also for Tammy Daybell as well. They found her... Right? I think so for Tammy as well. Yeah, they found that she was behind the possible conspiracy to murder Tammy Daybell, which is Chad Daybell's wife. Not ex-wife, wife. Sorry. Gotta clear my throat. Just gotta work. This is a way to unwind. Hi, Halsey. How are you doing today? Nancy, hello. What's up? Beautiful to you as well. Hi, Tiny Ghost. When it comes to Thai food, I always say Thai tea is my favorite tea. I can't have Thai tea. They put milk in it. I'm lactose intolerant now. So I also try to stay away from like black tea stuff as well, because caffeine has been messing me up. I don't know. I feel like my body just can't really handle a lot of caffeine. I feel like I'm already kind of hyper. So it makes me even more like la 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 la. But yeah, after that, we're going to segue over to Lori Vallow. There's some family members that are going to be at the sentencing hearing, and that's going to happen. Was it the 29th? No, 29th is a Saturday. Ew, when is the sentencing happening? Maybe the 31st? Sometime the end of this month. I'll get the exact date later on. So they're finally going to sentence her. There's going to be some victim impact statements, and we're going to listen to the family members. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good Friday. We're going to start with Sarah Boone. Let me just pull up from Law and Crime Trials. And it's a short video, and I think audio's good. So we don't have to worry about weird audio or anything like that. But here we go. Sarah Boone in trial, or pre-trial. I'm going to boost all the audio up for you guys. I saw a snippet of this, and I thought this was an older pre-trial that she had back in, I think, April. I don't know why. The setting, I mean, of course the setting looks the same, but like I feel like her hair and everything looks the same, the demeanor. So I was like, is this a rewatch? What is this? Yep, this is Sarah Boone. Oh, I guess I just assumed everyone knows who Sarah Boone is. I'm pretty sure you guys do, but just a little recap. Sarah Boone She was arrested. This was 3 years ago, about 3.5 years ago, back in 2020, for leaving her husband in a suitcase. Now, she said it was accidental, but we found the detectives found a video that was recorded on her phone where it sounded like she was, maybe tipsy. Boyfriend in a suitcase. Apparently, she said that they were playing hide and go seek, but she did tell the 911 operator that she put him in the suitcase. But anyways, she said she found him the next morning and he wasn't breathing. She didn't know what to do. Her story is very. It's gonna be a hard time for a defense team, but yeah, her story is pretty bad. We already got her testimony from or not testimony. We already got her account of events from the 911 call, from the body cam footages when the police showed up, and then also from the interrogation as well. I think when we get closer to her trial, though, I'm planning on rewatching. Well, I didn't watch the full interrogation. I watched the JCS version. If you guys haven't seen that, watch it on JCS. It's really great. But I'm going to watch the full interrogation video just to see it all over again. Hi, Plain Jane. Hi, Tam. How's it going? I know the haircut. I mean, it's practical when you're in jail. You ain't got to style it or anything or worry about, someone yanking your ponytail or anything like that. So, wait, I want to watch Oppenheimer. Is Oppenheimer out now? It looks really good. I can't wait. Is it out now? I want to watch Oppenheimer. Maybe we'll buy some movie theater tickets or something. All right, we're just going to look at Sarah Boone as we wait for everyone to load on in. But how much are movie theater tickets in your area? I'm very curious. Back in my day, we used to have $1 movie theater where we would go to the movie theater for $1. But if you want to go to a non-dollar movie theater, I think it was $4.50 or something. Man, now I feel like movie theater tickets are what, $15 to $20? You're seeing it tomorrow? Oh, so it must be already out then. I know people gave Christopher Nolan a lot of hate. Well, yeah, I think so. I think Tenet got a lot of hate, but I love Tenet. Even though when I was watching it, it was so confusing. I had no idea what was going on. And I had to watch videos after videos explaining the movie. I still thought it was really good. And the soundtrack was amazing. You saw The Fifth Element? Oh, Fifth Element's such a good movie. Corbin Dallas Multipass. It came out today. Oh, it's probably going to be packed, though. I'll wait until it dies down, and maybe we'll go on a weekday. Sorry, I'm just talking over this, but you're not really saying anything right now. We're waiting for the judge to come in. The movie of the century. Whoa, hold on. That's really bold. Even they said the movie of the decade.
Well, if he's not yet been convicted.
Oh, wait, this is the judge. Hi, Judge.
Trial, pre-trial, entry, plea, sentencing.
What was this judge's name? Was it Judge Wooten? Yeah, Judge Wooten. Okay, Judge Wayne Wooten. Hold on a second. Let me drag this out.
State of Florida versus Sarah Boone, 2020 CF 2603. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you shall give should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Good morning, ma'am. Tell me your name and your date of birth.
Sarah Boone, 10-10-77.
All right, we're here for a status hearing on your case. Your case?
Who's her lawyer? Bless them. We have Frank Bankowitz, who is her sixth attorney, and he tried to get out of it about an end of December, I think, and the judge denied that. I do believe she has another second attorney working with her as well. Was it on here? Let's see. I saw another attorney's name somewhere. Was it the notice of hearing? What was it? This is response. No access to that. Maybe this one. Maybe this one. Yeah, I think she has another attorney that's also working with her as well. Maybe the attorney works at the same office as the other guy. Frank Bankowitz. Dave Cacciatore is the state attorney. Oh, maybe it's just Frank Bankowitz. Am I getting it mixed up with a different trial? I could be. Oh, right here. This cause coming on to this day for pretrial conference and you, the defendant, Sarah Boone, being now not present and represented by Dave Varrett and Frank Bankowitz. So Dave Varrett's a new name that I've been seeing. Also, I love this judge's voice. Oh my God.
10-10-77.
All right, we're here for a status hearing on your case. Your case was set for pretrial conference back on
July 11. I think.
July 12th, but as I
12th,
promised
okay.
you, I was going to bring you over, so whatever the things that we normally discuss at pretrial would be discussed while you were present in the courtroom. Mr. Banquets,
Because of the reflection, it looks like she has pink handcuffs on. Some kinky pink handcuffs. You landed here. Hello, welcome.
in court, you previously discussed an issue with getting JAC to pay your expert, I'm going to just paraphrase, for this battered spouse defense.
Oh, yeah. So the defense that they're going to go for is the battered spouse defense. And I guess they have to have another expert witness to attest to that. I think initially her lawyer at a previous pretrial hearing mentioned that they were unable to find experts because there was a lot of experts that they reached out to that didn't want to touch this case, especially since it's so public, which I understand. Or maybe they looked at this case and they're like, yeah, no, we're not touching that because she left her husband or she left her boyfriend in a suitcase. But yeah, anyways, I remember hearing about that. And then now I guess they do have someone that's willing to work with them. However, I think their rates are a little bit too high. And JAC, what does that stand for again? JAC, Florida. JAC, Florida. Justice Administrative Commission, I think, JSC. They're like, nah, that rate's too high. We ain't paying that. So I think they're kind of like going back and forth on that right now.
And they have filed a formal objection, which now has been set for hearing. I want to say September the 18th, is the first available time, because they have to have, they require 20 days for hearing purposes, and we couldn't get on your docket before that date.
All right. So, Mr. Cacciatore, Ms. Boone's present, Mr. Banquets is...
Okay, so the captions are a little bit off, but they're not completely off, so I'll keep them on for now. I think they're just messing up the names and stuff. Mr. Banquets is Mr. Banquets right now. Mr. Cacciatore is statutory right now. I do want to read this really quick since I did pull it up before we get to the rest of it, because this is just kind of a background story on what's happening right now. Oh, this right here. Okay. So, Justice Administration Commission's ex parte response to motion for appointment of defense forensic psychologist. I'm not going to read the whole thing. We're just going to be, we're not going to read the whole thing. So, the JAC, Justice Administrative Commission, by and through the undersigned attorney, and files his response to the above stated motion as follows. 1. Frank Bankowitz, so that's again defense counsel for Sarah Boone, is seeking the authorization for $15,000 at the rate of $400 per hour for services at $125 travel time for a defense mental health expert. Damn, 400. Based on the JC records, the court previously appointed. You know what I should do? I feel like for each trial, I should keep track of how much money these experts are getting paid, just so I have like a database. And, you know, I don't know. I feel like it'd be really cool to refer to, because usually when they go up there to testify, the attorney would be like, okay, what's your rate? What are they paying you right now? Are they paying you a lot of money or something? So I think it'd be really interesting to kind of keep a record of that to see how much people are being paid. Based on JC records, the court previously appointed a mental health expert to assist defense, albeit under the prior indignant for the counsel. JAC paid $7,500 for the services of this expert for services rendered from August 21st, 2020 through August 5th, 2022. JAC also has concerns about the rate requested for this expert. 2. JAC may only pay due process as authorized by Section 29007 Florida statutes. Number 3, as directed by Section 274.425 Florida statutes and the General Appropriations Act, all due process services are subject to the Florida statutes and the JAC contract policies, procedures, So here's what we got. The rate for a psychological examination is a flat fee of $350. Further services, the established rates for medical doctors and psychologists are as follows. So in-court testimony is $170 for the first hour or less, $170 per hour thereafter. B, waiting to testify court, $85 per hour. C, waiting to testify deposition, $72.50. D, travel time, $72.50 per hour. E, out-of-court services, $160 for the first hour or less, $160 per hour thereafter. What I am curious about, though, is how often are these rates updated? Like, was the last time the rates were updated was like 5 years ago or something? Because, you know, things are starting to get more expensive, especially with like the travel stuff. So I wonder how up to date are they with the expense and stuff like that. So in court testimony, 170, and everything else is like half of that. But whatever expert that they're trying to get, $400 per hour for the services, and then $125 for travel time. So that is way beyond the 170 that JAC typically gives, I guess. 5, the counsel has a burden to establish a particularized needs for expert services. Counsels need to show the services are necessary for the defense of the case. So again, they're going to go for the battered wife defense, and maybe JAC's like, I don't know if we're going to give it to you. So maybe that's why they need, maybe the judge will need to say that, like, okay, you know what, JAC, I authorize you to get an expert because for the, I don't know, for the battered wife defense. Not really quite sure how that part works. C, while an indignant defense has a due right process of the assistance of the experts to his in a right case, that right is not unfettered. C, blah, blah, blah. The defendant is not entitled to, the right is limited to experts that are relevant and necessary to the defense of the case. So am I to assume that JAC doesn't believe that whatever expert that Sarah Boone is trying to hire is not relevant, not necessary to her case? The defendant is not entitled to a specific expert or one of his or her personal liking, but is only entitled to the services of a competent expert. I mean, it is possible that maybe the reason why they found an expert that charges a higher rate, like $400, is because maybe they try to ask the cheaper people and they're like, no, we don't want to touch Sarah Boone. No, thank you. We don't want to deal with that. So maybe the only person that's willing to do it is someone that's getting paid a higher rate. I don't know. 7, as enunciated by the Florida Supreme Court, an attorney seeking due process cause has the burden to establish 1, the particularized need for the due process services, and 2, prejudice arising from the denial of due process services. There was something else that I wanted to read because I don't think we're not reading the whole thing. In light of the services already provided, counsel has a burden to show the need for a second mental health expert in this matter. So I'm assuming they already paid money out, the $7,500, for a first mental health expert. But now Sarah Boone and her attorneys, they want a second one, I guess, to aid in the battered wife defense. But I guess JAC's like kind of like, we don't know if you really need this. Is this really necessary? Is it really relevant? Although counsel may prefer the service of a preeminent expert, due process does not require the state to provide services that a wealthier defendant might elect to purchase. If the expert who has already valued the defendant can provide competent and meaningful service to defense, the court should not appoint another expert in this matter. Counsel also has a burden to show diligent efforts to obtain services within the rates established by law. JAC would not anticipate paying a rate in excess of $200. So again, they want $400 per hour for a defense mental health expert, absent some specialty that justifies a higher rate. Well, I mean, the specialty would be someone who really who's an expert in, I guess, spousal abuse, right? Even if the expert has the specialty, JAC has a concern about paying a rate in excess of $300 per hour for even a specialized mental health expert. So they're saying that, like, okay, maybe we'll pay $200, maybe at most $300, but anything more than that, we're like kind of like, nah, like you want $400. So I guess we'll have to wait to see what the judge says, because I don't think he says. I don't think they figured that out right now. Okay, back to here. Oh, Dr. Hughes.
Asking to continue the case so that he can. We're gonna have to have.
No, Spiegel. I don't know. Maybe they can reach out to them.
Mr. Cacciatore, Ms. Boone's present. Mr. Banquets is asking to continue the case so that he can. We're going to have a hearing with JAC on his request for funding for a defense expert. Given my understanding of the case, that defense expert would be crucial to at least one defense that's going to be offered in case.
Okay, so it seems like the judge is going along with it. Okay.
And my understanding is you can't do anything until that expert actually is identified as a witness who's going to be called, correct?
That's correct.
She has been identified.
I understand, but it's not unknown at this point whether she's going to be called, and I assume since there's no agreement as to payment, potentially there's going to be an issue with the state deposing her at this point in time.
Correct.
So that's what I meant by he can't do anything until you get to the bottom of what she's going to be paid and whether she's willing to formally accept the case.
And also, from my understanding, from what I've heard from the judge from the pretrial hearing and the previous one, the judge just wants this to happen. He just wants to get the ball rolling. Like, let's go, let's do this. Like, what's up with all the holdups and stuff like that? So I think later on when the defense is like, oh, we're not sure if we can really, defend Sarah Boone by a certain date, judge is like, nah, let's just set the date for now. Let's just have the date set for there, and then we'll figure it out later. We'll discuss it later in the pretrial conferences.
Is that a fair
Hi, Rain.
statement?
Semi-fair. She is formally willing to accept the case. The issue is the hourly rate. JAC hasn't changed their hourly rate for this area of expertise for over 10 years.
Wait, they haven't changed the hourly rate for over 10 years? Wait, hold on. Let me listen to that again.
The hourly rate. To accept the case, the issue is the hourly rate. JAC hasn't changed their hourly rate for this area of expertise for over 10 years.
I think he said hasn't changed. I know the caption says has changed, but I think he said hasn't. But the second part was kind of quiet. Oof. Update
So, Mr.
time.
Cacciatore, the request is to continue so that that issue can be resolved. Do you have any objection to that?
No, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to grant the request to continue under the circumstances.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, that's what Frank Bankowitz mentioned in a previous pretrial. They're like, yeah, no one wants to touch this case. And I think the reason why they were able to finally find someone is because they're like, okay, I'll do it, but my rate's 400. I think they tried to find someone that was like the 200 rate, the 150 rate, the 175 rate, whatever rate, and they probably all said no. So the only one that's willing to do it is probably the $400 person.
What's the hearing date that we're currently working with, Mr.
I want to
Brown?
say September the 18th, Judge.
That sounds like what my JA told me as well. For control purposes, I'm going to set the case for my September 20th pretrial, October 2nd trial period, with the understanding that we can potentially address pretrial. And I understand that you're unlikely to tell me that you're ready to try this case on October 2nd, regardless of what happens to the 18th.
Correct.
But I just want to have the case scheduled close in time to the 18th, so we can address them at the same time.
Thank you, Judge.
All right.
Have a good
That
week.
is the order of the court. Ms. Boone, you'll be returned to the Orange County Jail while Mr. Banquets continues.
You guys see what's in Sarah Boone's hand? She got something. She got something there. I mean, the title already ruins it. Brings Judge handwritten letter. Sarah Boone's like, I got this letter ready for you, Judge.
Prepare your defense. All right.
Judge Boone.
Thank you, Judge. Have a good week.
Hold on one second. Ms. Boone, I've addressed pretrial. I've brought you over. I'm going to give you a moment.
Yeah, see, with the judge's tone right there, you can tell there's already some sort of like tension, maybe a little bit of animosity between the two of them. And we have seen it, her accusing the judge of a lot of different things that, I don't really understand. She calls herself smarter than the average inmate, but I don't know if like people really go after the judges. That doesn't seem like a very smart idea. It doesn't seem like you'd be smarter than the average inmate. I feel like the average inmate wouldn't attack the judge, especially in a letter. But, the judge's tone here is very interesting because you could tell he's kind of already fed up with her.
I'm going to give you a moment if you want to share something else with me, but that's what I needed to address today, and I've got other matters that I need to address in short order. So,
I understand, and I'm grateful for your time. I had previously sent you a letter,
Oh, here we go.
and it has not been uploaded, but it was made an announcement to the courtroom during my pretrial that you do have it, and I was wondering why and if it will be uploaded, because I have another copy of it that I would like to hand deliver to you today.
I don't know why it has.
I have a question. Why? I mean, I know why the judge doesn't want to deal with it, but like for her, would it just be like, wouldn't this matter just be dealt with like, hey, let's just talk it out really quick instead of just like handing the judge the letter? Like, I don't know. I really do wonder what the letter says. Is she complaining about her lawyers again? Wouldn't she just be able to address it like right now?
Not been uploaded. I'll have to talk to my JA about that. If you want to give me another copy, that's fine.
Yes, please.
Look at all, oh my God, look at all those notes right there. I see some bullet points right there.
To talk to my JA about that. If you want to give me another copy, that's
Look at that. Look at all these notes right there. She got notes within a notes and a note.
fine.
Yes, please.
All right, go ahead and just tender it to one of the deputies.
I think the notes that she had was probably the things that she probably wanted to discuss, and then she didn't realize that she wasn't really going to say anything much. And then she's like, okay, I guess I won't discuss any of this stuff. But you know what? I got the letter, Judge. Upload the letter up to the system.
And actually, any objection if I just have the clerks scan it here in open court?
Yes, please. And do I normally get a copy? I haven't gotten one. I'm sorry.
Well, it'll be filed in the case.
If it's uploaded, Judge, I can make a copy and take it to her.
Okay, all right.
Yes, please. If
That looks like it's a lot of pages. I don't know if it's front and back either.
that would be okay, I would like to have that one uploaded. It's revised.
Okay. And what I had directed my judicial assistant was to disclose this to the attorneys. Again, to a great extent, when I read the original, you've covered a great deal of ground that we've covered in open court on multiple occasions about the method and manner of communication. Having read the original letter, I did not believe there was any additional action that I needed to take, which is why I didn't take any action on that letter. All right? So to be filed, Ms. Boone will be returned to the Orange County Jail pending further order of the court.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. It's just kind of interesting to see how docile she seems during these hearings, but then in her handwritten letters, there are some vicious attacks in there. She's accusing the judge of, what was one of the accusation? It was like profiting off her case somehow by leaking stuff or something like that. It's the jail haircut, okay? Like, her letters are very, very aggressive. But when you see her in pretrial, she's just like, okay, thank you. Oh, man. I wonder, has she been getting her smokes in jail? She's taking advice and knock it off. Listen, I hope she does turn it down a notch, okay? By a lot, because she kind of crazy. She's kind of crazy. Oh, man. Let's see. Was there anything else that I wanted to talk about with Sarah Boone? Did you guys want to talk about anything else with Sarah Boone? Was there any questions or anything like that? Oof. So I do have the letters, but we don't need a refresh on the letters, right? Hold on. I actually know what I do want to read this portion of the letter really quick. I do want to get it right. Let's see what she accused the judge of in the letter. Some her cases. Oh man, she's got her own folder now in my computer. All her stuff was just piling on up. What's the most recent letter to the judge? Was it this one? Oh yeah. Oh man. This is her complaining about the communication. Where's the part where she accuses the judge of like profiting off of this or something? Jesus. I feel bad for her lawyer. She was complaining about not being able to attend her pretrial stuff, which I understand. It seems like she was kept in the dark and she hasn't met with her lawyer yet to discuss her defense. Let's see, was it this letter? Oh, I forgot. She even defined the word perspective for us too, just in case we didn't know, you know? Oh, I forgot how long and lengthy these letters were. I think this part was addressed to the judge. Why are you allowing numerous case safety and protection elements to be breached, violated, and manipulated? Why has the gag order never been implemented? My case has turned to an unnecessary witch hunt from the innumerable violations of my case details being leaked and racketeered illegally in exchange for the website hits, viewer ratings, etc. In exchange for $. What is your cut, Your Honor? You choose who knows what, where, and how in your courtroom. When did court minutes become live? Are you the one who authorizes the upload to the internet? It's all about how much rather than how did it happen. No matter the destruction caused in the meantime, and it is irreparable. So she accuses the judge of taking a cut out of all this. All right, that's the only refresher we need. Oh man, I ate a lot of food, so my stomach is slow digesting right now. How are you guys doing today? The Taylor. Okay, so I did want to listen to her pre-trial stuff with you guys. So the last update with Taylor Schabiz is that the judge found her competent to stand trial. I think the next thing that they were discussing, I think they're supposed to meet today, actually. Yeah, they probably already met today. Just an update because I believe her trial is going to happen next week. But with Taylor Schabiz, oh, Jesus. We'll see. We'll see with Taylor Schabiz. I think I was meaning to cover it, but I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. What do we get out of Taylor Schabiz? Because we know that she did it. She's a really sick person. I don't know. Maybe just to kind of understand sickos like her. I don't know. Not understand, but get into the head of sickos like her. I don't know. Because there are some cases where it's you don't know who did it, and finding out who did it is pretty interesting. Or when you have someone on the stand, the accused, that's extremely manipulative. That could be interesting to watch as well. But Taylor Schabiz to me just seems like someone who just is an attention seeker. I was listening to a pre-trial that happened. Was it this morning? I didn't get to finish it, but apparently when she was, I don't know, talking to her, she's being evaluated by a psychiatrist or something like that. She put a staple in her arm. I'm a staple? A little tiny staple? Who does that? Kids do that, Usually it's the attention-seeking kids in your class that will do something like that. And she had to get medical attention and stuff like that. I don't know. I just feel like she just does things that's very attention-seeking. She might have a mental issue, but they already found her to be competent to stand in trial. But yeah, I don't know. Her throwing a chair at the wall, her writing on the walls in blood, saying happy birthday to someone. I don't know. It just all seems very attention-seeking behavior. And maybe she just wants to get out of it. Maybe she's pulling a Letitia right now. Because Letitia, after telling all the lies that she told and no one believed them, she finally was you know what, guys? I have multiple personality disorder. I talk to vampires. I talk to Tupac. So I don't know. Maybe that's what Taylor Schabiz is trying to do. Maybe the drugs really fucked up and fried her brain. But yeah, her trial's happening next week. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe. But we were reading, last stream, we were reading the arrest. What was it called again? It was the arrest stuff. It was very, 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 very graphic. I actually don't even know who's going to be covering it. Did Court TV or Law and Crime mention they're covering it? Law and Crime probably. I think they're covering it. See, she doesn't have her own folder yet. She's in the other folder. What was this again? It was the criminal complaint. It was very, very, very graphic. I usually don't mind reading graphic things, but there was a section where I was just okay, I'm not reading this on stream. I was I can't read this on stream. Ugh, I don't know. And I just feel really bad. I don't know if his mom is going to testify, but I feel really bad for his mom. The victim's mom found her son in the bucket. It was a decapitated head. I can't imagine what that woman is going through. You guys hear about the story about the Asian girlfriend who hated her boyfriend's ex-wife, and I think they were feuding for a couple of years, but I don't know why you would do this, but she decided to murder the 6-year-old little girl, put her body into the bucket, and then leave it in front of the mom's doorsteps for her to find. But did the mom find it? No, the police did actually, because they were trying to find her. But I don't know, man. That is just some really sick shit. I'm watching this sober, no way. Law and Crime and other channels too. Yeah, I'll think about it. I mean, I don't know. There might be something to learn from the Schabiz stuff. I don't know, because I feel like she's already confessed to it. We know that she did it. I don't know. I like learning experiences. Yeah. Yep. She did a lot of other stuff as well. Yeah. Let's move on to Trevizo. So Alexee Trevizo, we already know that this was going to be their defense. Her lawyer did a interview, I think over a month ago, basically saying that it's the hospital's fault. Maybe the hospital gave her too much medication. Maybe that's why the baby was a stillborn. The hospital was negligent. They didn't pay attention. The hospital knew that she was pregnant. I think right now they were able to get more information. And I think he said that the hospital knew that she was pregnant for like 45 minutes and didn't tell her. My client didn't know she was pregnant until she went to the bathroom to give birth. However, everything that he says doesn't explain why the baby was found in a plastic trash bag, in a trash bin, with the mother nonchalantly walking away from the bathroom, leaving a bloody mess for the hospital staff to witness, and then later on for the hospital staff to find a deceased infant in the trash. So we don't get an explanation for that. And Vinnie Politan didn't press on that as well, but I get it because, you know, he's interviewing this person and they probably want him to come back. So I thought he was going to go a little bit harder, but I understand why he wouldn't as well. So let's watch the Court TV video. Thank you, Court TV, for uploading this. The title is called Hospital Negligence, ? Alexee Trevizo's attorney's new claim. Her attorney's name is, what's his name, by the way? Oh, I don't remember. The Asian chick later walked to the police station, told them she needed help, got sent to the hospital. What's your plea to insanity? Oh, yeah, she did. You're right. She did do that. I don't know. I just don't understand. If your beef is with the adult, why involve the kid into it, right? Same thing with Letitia. If your beef is with his mom, you know, his dad, deal with the adults. I'm not saying kill the adults, but deal with the adults. Why go after the kids? That's because these are just really cruel people that just wants to hit them where it really hurts. They know what they're doing. She seems so scared of her mom. Yeah, I don't know. I think that like the more I think about this case, the more I'm just like, I feel like she knew she was pregnant. She's got to have known she was pregnant. Before I was like, you know, it's possible. There are times where women don't know they're pregnant. You know, maybe she didn't know she was pregnant. But, you know, I think she knew she was pregnant. I think she was hiding it. And unless there's like some evidence that they're able to present to show that she didn't know for sure, I don't know what they're going to be able to show, and that it was really the hospital's fault and she did everything she could. Now, that wouldn't explain the baby in the trash can thing, though. I actually don't know. I don't know. Maybe defense attorneys are really creative. So unless they find something really convincing, I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like there's no way. I don't know. Maybe they'll give her a plea deal or something. She went to school prom a month before she was arrested. I think people showed me pictures of that. This is loud, sorry.
I'm Vinnie Politan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And
Vinny, hello. Let me turn this down really quick. I'm sorry, Vinny, you're really loud. Oh, look at Vinny. Look at his eyes smoldering.
it just seems in the past several weeks we've had a series of stories that are very unusual and very confusing, and this hour will be no exception to that.
She looked pregnant in the cheerleading attire. Oh, actually, hold on. I like to retract what I said earlier. While I think it's possible for women to know that they're not pregnant, because I've heard of stories like that, when I saw pictures of her in the cheerleading outfit, I was like, you know what? To other people, it looked like she could just be a little bit chubby to other people. Now, when there were pictures and videos of her arching her back, yeah, she looked very pregnant because it was protruding out. And I was like, yeah, you know, to other people, they probably don't see her walking around like that, right? However, when I really thought about it, I was like, wait a second. She must have known she was pregnant because when she's alone with her own body, like she must see that like it's very protruding, right? And she did tell the nurse that she stopped taking birth control pills and took weight loss pills. And why would you stop taking birth control pills? Because you're pregnant. Birth control pills prevent you from getting pregnant. If you're already pregnant, why would you take birth control pills? You don't. So that's exactly what she did. And she was somehow able to be resourceful and get weight loss pills. I don't know how, but yeah. So that's the part that I rethought over, not the other thing that I mentioned earlier. Been standing Vinny since 2000. I wish we could get some footages of Vinny, you know, because he used to be like a prosecutor, right? I wish we could get some footages of Vinny in court. That'd be great to watch. Are there any?
One of the stories involves a young woman, who's 19 years old, goes to the hospital complaining of back pain. She goes there with her mom. She's in labor, delivers the child in the bathroom, leaves the child in the bathroom, in plastic, in the trash. She's now charged with murder. Take a listen here, because police responded. Body cams are rolling, and you get to see some of the statements and reactions like in real time.
Like, it's possible maybe she didn't have like all the pregnancy symptoms. Maybe it was possible that she wasn't, you know, getting like the morning sickness. Maybe she was still getting spotty periods and she thought she was still, you know, having regular periods. Maybe it's possible that, I don't know, there's a lot of things that's possible, right? However, she must have looked pregnant when she was sitting in front of the mirror naked. She must have looked pregnant, because when she was arching her back in those pictures, you can see the stomach. That stomach must have been protruding out. She must have known. But I think, like I mentioned before, whether or not she knew she was pregnant, whether or not the hospital knew she was pregnant or not, and before they were able to tell her that she was pregnant, at the end of the day, I think what it really starts at is her giving pregnancy in the bathroom. And it's everything that's following after that. I don't know how her defense team is going to argue that, like, she didn't know she was pregnant. The hospital knew she was pregnant. Well, how are you going to explain that? Like, okay, well, she did give birth and, well, what came out of her wasn't poop. It was a baby. Why did she put her baby in the trash? So I don't know how they're going to explain that part. Or, you know, it's so far from what I've heard from his interviews, he just kind of glazes over that. He just blames the hospital.
Let's take a look.
Because even if it was a dead baby, you don't put dead babies in trash bins. Is she going to say that, like, oh, well, you know, I assumed the baby was dead, so who cares? I just put it in the trash bin. Baby wasn't alive. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
We did a pregnancy test on her, showed positive. She was denying that she had sex. Then she said she had to go to the bathroom. She went to the bathroom. She was in there for quite a while. We came knocking on the door. Finally, we got her to open the door, and there was blood everywhere. She was cleaning it up. She had taken it and put it in the regular trash, and there's still trash all around the baby. She put it right in the trash can. Then she twisted it.
At this point, though, I do believe that the mom didn't know she was pregnant, maybe had her suspicions, but wasn't 100% sure. However, I don't know, maybe some evidence will come out that will show the mom did know for sure. But when I rewatched the video where the mom finds out that there was a baby in the bathroom and stuff like that, or sorry, when she gave birth, the mom looked very surprised and shocked to me. So I do believe that the mom didn't know she was pregnant, but I'm sure she had her suspicions.
And wrapped it underneath him, and then set the baby in the bottom. Then she put paper towels on top, and then 2 wadded up trash cans or liners. They were clean on top of that, and then she placed a brand new clean liner in the trash can like it was ready to take trash. When they looked in there, there was no trash in there, but it was underneath the clean bag. The baby.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe when the mom finds out it's full term, she looks surprised. Right. So it's possible maybe the mom had her suspicions and maybe she thought, like, Alexi was maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months. But to find out that she was full term, she definitely looks surprised at that.
He's dead. Okay, we have him in trauma too, but she killed the kid. Cold and blue already. His temperature was like 95. No signs of life, no breathing, no respirations, no heartbeat, nothing, no movement whatsoever.
So she's charged with murder. So a big part of the case will be the autopsy and toxicology results. Let's take a look. Cause of death: asphyxia, suffocation, strangulation, manner of death, homicide, how the injury occurred, tied in a plastic bag. Then the important toxicology results: caffeine presumed positive, morphine free, 19 nanograms per milliliter, phentermine 420 nanograms.
What was phentermine again? We looked it up, didn't we? Was that the weight loss thing? Phentermine? Yeah, phentermine for weight loss. Oh, fudge. Did I just X everything out? Oh, never mind. And I'm assuming that they weren't able to find any trace of birth control stuff I wonder if she was on birth control. Wait, hold on a second. So if she was, how is she going to explain away the birth control thing? Because they're going to be like, well, if you didn't know that you were pregnant, then why'd you stop taking your birth control then? I don't know, man. The lies.
Per milliliter. So what exactly do these results mean for the defense? Joining me right now in Ruidoso, New Mexico, Alexi Trevizo's defense attorney. He's back with us tonight, Gary Mitchell. Gary, thanks so much.
Oh, Gary Mitchell. That's his name. Hey, Gary.
Much for joining us again tonight. Autopsy results are out. Toxicology is out. What does it mean to you?
Well, it means that this child didn't die like everybody thinks, and the child wasn't killed by my client. That's what that means. And at the end of the day, we know that there's a major issue with the autopsy and the way they claim that this child died of suffocation. That's not correct. We also know that the hospital committed a major wrong in giving my client morphine for a lengthy period of time, well over an hour, almost an hour and a half.
The defense are going to try to say the doc gave CPR. That's how the baby got air in his lungs. We are lucky we heard her say she decided not to because she knew it was a crime scene. Yeah, from what we remember from the interviews, they didn't attempt to because they can tell the baby was for sure deceased. And then additionally, I think the defense could be like, oh, well, the reason why there's air in the lungs is because you guys gave him CPR. But then if that goes, if that doesn't work, they could also be like, well, why didn't you give the baby CPR? You could have saved the baby. You guys are negligent. You didn't give the baby CPR. I don't know. You know how defense attorneys are so creative and crafting their defense. They could point out anything.
And we know that the baby had morphine in it as well, which suppressed breathing. So there are...
Which suppress breathing. I wonder when women give birth, how much morphine is found in those babies? Because, there are women that give birth and they want the pain. They want the painkillers. So I do wonder what's the normal amount of morphine that you find in an infant.
Many, many issues. We also know this child had certain bacteria that they found at the autopsy, including E. coli.
Okay, so E. coli. Well, why would the baby have E. coli? It's the hospital's fault? Or didn't Alexee Trevizo tell one of the nurses that when she sat on the toilet, it kind of just came out? Well, what do you find in toilet bowls? Sometimes there's E. coli floating in there because you go to the bathroom. So maybe that's why the baby had E. coli, because the baby was given birth possibly in the toilet, right? Or on the floor.
Which can...
Or the trash too, right?
Cause major problems for a baby or elderly people. We also know that...
Because I wonder if E. coli was found externally or internally.
She was positive for COVID and influenza A and B.
What? The baby had COVID? The baby had influenza A, influenza B? The baby had E. coli? The baby had morphine? I can't wait to hear from the other experts to see if they agree on this. The baby just had everything. Her mother played the audience to the hospital room. The young woman is 19, so she bear her share of doing the unthinkable in the hospital. She was in a very safe space.
So we had a very sick child. And we also know that from other forensic pathologists that the type of tests run by the lab, by the Office of the Medical Investigator in New Mexico are not classically used. So we had major issues in that regard. And then we've learned that some of the things that the hospital has been saying.
Yeah. And apparently the baby also flew and landed in the bottom of the trash can. Yeah, he won't address that part. That's the meat of it. And that's the part that they really need to address. But maybe they're still crafting something. We'll see.
Are incorrect. She never, for example, she never told him that she was a virgin. She never told him that she didn't have sex.
So you know what? The hospital staff, they are the liars. That's what she's saying. I never told the hospital staff that I was a virgin. I never told my mom that. I never said that I didn't have sex. They're lying. I think there was a couple of hospital staff that said that she said that. I know one for sure. No, I think it was Chris, the one that brought her in. And I think it was the ER doctor. Oh, man, I got to re-listen to the interviews then. I'm pretty sure it was at least 2 people who said that. Well, at this point, Krista, it's kind of like he said, she said, I guess, right? It's like hospital staff, they're the liars, not the 19-year-old victim. That's what he's saying.
Things of that particular nature. So there's a lot.
At what point, because we bring it back.
Man, I feel like Vinny has so many questions. Vinny's because we've seen Vinny before. Vinny's a very spicy man, okay? Vinny kind of speaks his mind, and he really goes at it. But I can tell right now, Vinny's just trying to constrain himself right now, because you know what? I want this guy to come back, and I want to make sure I want to be able to interview this guy again. So I gotta hold it. I gotta hold it. I feel like Vinny has so many questions right now.
Back to the fact that she goes to the bathroom to deliver this child. At what point did the hospital know she was pregnant? At what point did she know she was pregnant?
They knew she was pregnant at 12:51, 51 minutes after midnight. They did not tell her. She did not know she was pregnant until she had the baby at 1:39, 1:40 in the bathroom.
Okay.
That's when she first learned that she was giving birth.
Okay, and now you can explain more, Carrie Mitchell?
So the hospital knew for 46 minutes that she was pregnant. They didn't tell her. They let her go to the bathroom, and we know that a woman giving birth, particularly a teenager, may feel that they simply have to go to the bathroom.
I do remember hearing the head nurse. I think that he said that he was scared that she would go into the bathroom, not to harm the baby, but he was afraid that she was going to harm herself. I think it was what the head nurse is. It was one of the nurses that said that.
You use the same or similar muscles in that regard. We
Okay.
also know that they continue to give her, not only morphine, but 5 other different drugs, 4 of which are contraindicated for birth for a fetus. So the hospital knew all of this. They didn't stop. And not only that, they unhooked her from the IV and allowed her to go to the bathroom.
Is it the hospital staff now that they let her go to the bathroom?
Knowing that she was pregnant at the time.
What, pregnant mommies aren't allowed to go to the bathroom?
Cardinal sin in the emergency room.
Sorry.
She was from the IV and allowed her to go to the bathroom, knowing that she was pregnant at the time. A cardinal sin in the emergency room.
I'm sorry. I didn't know pregnant mommies had to pee and shit in a fucking bedpan. I didn't know they weren't allowed to go to the bathroom. You used to say muscles. I kind of understand what he was trying to say. I mean, it's obviously different muscles for when you're pooping versus when you're giving birth. But I mean, I get what he was trying to say. I was trying to be too nitpicky about that. Yeah, I'm not really quite sure. It would be a cardinal sin, I guess, if they knew that she was the type of person that was possibly going to harm herself. And that's when she would probably need supervised bathrooms, visits maybe, or maybe she gets a bedpan. But I don't understand why she wouldn't be able to go to the bathroom on her own as an adult, 19-year-old, if she was pregnant.
So what is the status of the case right now? These results are relatively new. It wasn't known the last time we spoke, at least. So are there conversations going back and forth with prosecutors, or are we just on the track of this thing moving towards a trial?
I don't think the lawyer should do this interview. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the lawyer should have done this interview. I get there are times where you want to do an interview and you want to like set the record straight and you want the public to stop attacking your client, but this interview is just not it. I feel like maybe he should have just waited for trial or something. Or maybe he should have been kind of reserved on some things. Maybe he should just stuck to like, you know, hospital negligent, gave her medication, and that's about it. But the fact that he was going into some details into certain things, I don't know. I felt like he didn't really have to. Maybe just keep it really as succinct as you can and not go into much details, because I don't think this interview really helps him. I don't think it helps her. I don't think it helps her family. If anything, when people hear this, I don't know, they might get even more enraged. I would just wait for the trial.
We're on the track of this, moving toward a trial. We're in the investigatory stage. At least I am. I'm getting my experts, giving them all the materials. Obviously, you know from my conversation with you that I've already talked to certain experts, and I have a lot of information about the case. Plus, the trial is not set until next year. You know, we know that the trial date that was set in the fall is going to be moved. And I'm preparing motions regarding everything from changes of venue to the misuse.
Oh, change of venue. That could be good for her because it's a small town. She's probably already known for being as the teenager that dumped her baby in the trash bin. So change of venue could be good for her.
Everything from changes of venue to the misuse of privileged materials to a motion to suppress certain statements and things of that particular nature.
And final question here tonight. Alexi, your client, she's not behind bars, right? She's released and being monitored. What's her status tonight, and how would you describe her state of mind right now?
Well, first of all, she's just graduated high school. She stays alone, with the exception of her parents, and she doesn't go out. She and other than visiting a sister or relatives that may come by, she doesn't see any friends. She has no physical contact with her boyfriend, the father of the child. She talks to me, and she's in some counseling as ordered by the court.
Interesting. No physical contact with her boyfriend.
And she's in some counseling.
Yeah, no physical contact with her boyfriend. Man. She really fucked up. You know, I remember when I was a senior in high school, that was like one of the best years ever because it's like, oh, you're almost getting the taste of freedom. You're going to be done with high school. You're going to go to college. You're going to do whatever you want, you know? I don't know. It's just like such a cool experience. Like after you graduate, you know, you do the prom stuff, you do the beach week stuff, hang out with your friends, get a taste of freedom, travel and all that. She fucked up. You hated high school. Listen, I didn't like high school, but I was always looking forward to getting out of high school. I was like, yes. But I just remember last year high school was really fun though, because it was just like knowing that like, oh, you're finally going to be done. The anticipation. What is beach week? Oh, so like beach week was after you graduated, all the seniors go to the nearest beach city. And then for an entire week, you just like drink, party, hotel hop and stuff like that. Yeah, it was really fun. You just get like a big house and share it together. But teenagers are filthy little fuckers, okay? Because no one wants to clean. No one wants to cook. No one wants to do anything. We don't have our mom or dad to clean after us. I just remember our beach week house was a freaking mess. Hey, Paul, how are you doing today? We talked about Sarah Boone for her pretrial hearing, and we're finishing up with Alexee Trevizo, and then we're going to move on to Lori Vallow. Her sentence is going to be up soon.
As ordered by the court.
All right, Gary.
But other than that, she lives a very stoic life.
All right, get Gary out of here. I want to listen to the think tank then.
Gary Mitchell, representing Alexi Trevizo. We appreciate your time tonight, Gary, and hopefully we'll speak again.
I usually don't care for the think tank, but let me get. I want to listen to the think tank right now. Get
soon.
Gary out of here. Bye, Gary. Have fun.
We shall. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, folks, let's bring in our think tank. Joining us live in studio tonight, criminal defense attorney, entertainment attorney, former state attorney in Florida, and former assistant DA in Atlanta, Daryl.
Hi, everyone. Hey, how's it going? I came because Boone was in the title. Any updates? What happened? Sarah Boone, her trial has been pushed back. Initially, it was for next Monday. It's going to be pushed back for now for October 2nd. She was having issues hiring an expert, but then they finally were able to find an expert because she's going to go for the battered spouse defense. However, the expert wants $400 an hour, and they don't want to pay for $400 an hour, so they're figuring that out right now. But we'll have her pretrial stuff happening, I think twice in September. I don't remember the exact dates. So that's it for the Sarah Boone stuff for now. It has been delayed.
Cohen.
Oh, and then Sarah Boone at the end was like, Judge, I got another letter. I want you to upload it to your system. And the judge kind of, he kind of politely shut her down a little bit.
Also with us, criminal defense attorneys Marsha Mignon, and finally, criminal defense attorney, the man behind the glasses, Josh Schiffer. And the glasses, Marsha, did you guys set this up ahead of time?
We tried. It's a long time plan.
All right.
We're working on
They're
this.
going to do battle with you, Daryl.
Trendsetters.
Yeah. All right. Daryl, the corner of my eye, I'm doing the interview here, corner of my eye, Daryl's making faces throughout this interview. What are your thoughts about this case?
Well, my first thoughts are, I don't think that infant was able to walk from the hospital room bed to the bathroom.
Yep. That's what someone said in my chat earlier.
And jump into the trash can and surround itself with plastic and suffocate. I think her lawyer is doing exactly what he needs to do. He's doing a good job, but he doesn't have the evidence. He may be saying that they made mistakes. This woman sadly killed her child. Whether or not it's murder, as far as...
That's what she's charged with.
Well, she's charged with murder, and she actually killed her child, in my view, based on the evidence I see. But having said that, I think ultimately this will end up being a plea, her getting a lot of counseling and a lot of help.
Well, the lawyer already said, I think the lawyer said that she's not going to take a plea deal. That was in a different interview.
Because it's an unusual murder.
But we'll see. They might change their mind. I don't know if it's still offered.
It's terrible, but it's unusual.
Marsha?
I disagree. I think the hospital
See,
has...
everyone that sits in that seat usually disagrees with Daryl.
It's a given.
It's a
And
disagree
this seat, and that seat, all those seats. It's not
The
hard.
only reason I disagree is because I know that a lot of times it's difficult to understand how at such a young age she could not know that she's pregnant. It's happened to women even older than she is that say, I didn't even know I was pregnant until I got to the hospital. My concern is that the hospital, based on the information from her attorney, had all the knowledge prior to her, assuming arguendo that's true, that she was pregnant. And if that's the case, there's a whole lot of negligence to go around.
But that doesn't stop.
Is there? Is there, though? If they knew she was pregnant? Is there really? They could have still known she was pregnant, have her go to the bathroom, give her the medications they did, and still not be negligent.
A murder, negligence is one thing. Murder, the actual act of killing your child.
Like, there could have been someone that might have fucked up and give her, like, excess amount of morphine, or maybe could also be no.
Is still a murder.
Well,
negligence or not.
Assuming the child wasn't killed by morphine, assuming the child wasn't killed by all the medications that they were pumping her with when she got to the hospital and said, I have back pain. And if you're pumping her with medication.
And I feel like that word pumping, I feel like that's such a loaded term. We don't know if she was pumped with medication. She could have been given medication that still wouldn't have instantly aborted an infant.
Knowing that she's pregnant, then there might have been a murder, but it was committed by the hospital.
And really,
But I just want to hear from like other, I don't know, maybe like experts that say they're like, oh, you know, is this the amount of morphine that you will be able to find in a child after a mother was given morphine and she gave birth? So that's what I want to know. Because I don't fucking know. I read that fucking autopsy thing and I was like, I don't know if this is a lot of morphine or not. Oh.
yeah, I'm going to follow up on that because really, I've dealt with hospitals. I've been deeply involved with one and or more pregnancies.
You've been pregnant?
No, but I've contributed. One of the issues is you don't just go to the hospital and get some morphine. They check into you before they start pumping you up with the good stuff. You also don't really get treated as a woman without pregnancy tests.
Yeah, and usually when I go to the doctors, like not ER or anything, but when I go to the doctors and if I have like an issue, one of the first things they usually do is like take a urine test. They'll ask me like, "Oh, do you think you're pregnant?" I'm like, no. But like, okay, well, let's just take a urine test just in case and stuff, and let's just double check to make sure. I don't know. Like, I remember doing that so many times. So I would assume if you're going to the ER for back pain, I don't know. I mean, they did the urinary test, they did the blood test. I feel like they would be on the error side of caution. I'm like, okay, whatever medication we give her, let's be careful in case she is pregnant, right? I feel like they wouldn't just give her shit that would just like fuck her up.
Coming out really quickly. It's one of the first things doctors do. So I'm really interested to hear about what the hospital did and clearly didn't do. But I agree with Daryl. There's some serious mental health issues involved with this. I find it very difficult to conceive not realizing you're pregnant. And then there's some untruths being shared.
Let's do this.
Here.
Let's watch together. Alexi, this again is on the body cam. This is her reaction in the moment. Now her mom's in there, the doctor's in there, and obviously officer with a body cam. Let's watch.
I'm sorry. He came out and me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this.
But it
I
was
just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
scared. It was not crying or nothing.
I'm sorry about this, but in terms of delivering a baby and it looked like you tried to hide it, we do have to have the police involved.
And nothing was crying. It came out with nothing.
Do you guys have, I'm the charge nurse here, do you guys have any questions for me?
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What?
Nothing,
9 months?
nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
Nothing was crying.
It's difficult. Let me show you one more piece of evidence, okay? That may be used in this case. I don't know. This is from Yvonne the Plug on TikTok. This is a still frame from a video. That's her. She's still cheerleading. She's still cheerleading.
It's so pixelated.
That's her right in the middle.
Yeah, when she's got her back arch, you really see the stomach coming out.
Many that we've had in the newsroom have said, yeah, that looks like a baby bump.
It kind of smacks. Are you kidding me with the pregnancy unknowing? And really, your body's your body. I find it difficult, even though I admit it's been reported before.
But we think she was on diet pills, too.
Yeah, women have been able to be pregnant, and I've never been pregnant, but I'm sure that you can miss some things. But it's so hard to believe.
So you're going to take my word for it?
Yeah, I'll take your word for it. It's so hard to believe. You're missing something that happens pretty regularly for a number of months. And clearly, that young lady is terrified of talking to her mom about this.
And then she runs to the bathroom and gives birth, and then, please. I mean, there's negligence, I agree, but there's mental health issues galore.
Well, if she's got mental health issues, then you've just taken away her intent in murder.
There you go.
No. Mental health issues does not mean you've taken away her intent. Just means she has mental health
Well,
issues.
now her defense would be
Well, I think the defense, it looks like it's leaning on that this was a stillborn child. Yeah, stillborn child. So that's a battle of the experts inside the courtroom.
Did I not hear she said the baby was crying?
No.
She
said
said nothing was crying.
Oh.
Nothing was crying.
But it's the lying and the purposeful, willful blindness.
So how important is the issue of whether or not she knew she was pregnant?
critical in a murder case, because you have to have intent. You have specific intent crimes and general intent crimes. Fortunately for her, murder is a specific intent crime. So if she didn't intend to cause the death of the child, prosecutors better be looking at charging something else really quickly.
If there's evidence, like let's say hypothetically there's evidence that
I appreciate him saying that excessive mental health doesn't mean no intent. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're like nervous or something like that. But like, I feel like sometimes when they get these experts up there, they say things that I'm just like, what? How could they? What? Are they for real? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe being up there in the seat, you kind of just like blabbers things out of nervousness or something. I don't know.
she had talked to friends about a name for the baby. That would be really bad for her.
It would be bad for her. However,
Really bad.
You talking about the name for a baby doesn't mean
For
that when
the
you-
baby.
For the baby.
That
When you got
doesn't
to the
matter.
hospital.
What matters is she put the baby in the trash can. She put plastic around the baby. It doesn't take a brilliant detective to realize she committed a murder.
What if the
Paul says, I thought the autopsy confirmed air in the lung. That's not stillborn, is it? That autopsy report is saying it's not stillborn. They said they found air in the lungs and in the stomach as well, and it was death by suffocation. However, defense team, it probably might be like the Skylar Richardson case, right? Where they find their own expert and the expert's going to be like, well, actually, there wasn't any air and blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. We'll see what they say.
baby was dead when she put it in the trash?
Then she attempted to commit the murder.
And that's the other thing, because they
They're
can get her
here
on something.
the whole hour.
They can get her on abusing a corpse. They can get her on everything.
That's what I just said.
Tell
All
you.
right.
The prosecutor needs to look at new charges.
She intended to kill the baby, not to help it. Call for help. She was in the hospital, for fuck's sake. Yeah, she could have gotten help for both of them. So bogus. Yeah, we'll see what else comes up, but I feel like the lawyer should not have done an interview, or if he were to do an interview, just keep it really short and just be like, hey, we think it's negligence of the hospital because of medication. And that's about it. I don't know. I don't think he should have said other stuff, man. Oh, good. Good Lord. I don't know. Okay, well, who's next? So again, her case, her trial is set for 22-24, but I forgot what year, what month. Was it January and February? I think January and February. So let's see. Your session has timed out. No. Chime me back in. To this one. Charges: first-degree murder, willful and deliberate, intentional abuse of a child resulting in death, child under 12, tampering with evidence, highest crime, a capital first or second-degree felony. Was not this one? Sorry, give me a second. It ain't this one. There's like 3 of them up on here. Is it this one? Oh yeah, here it is. Hearing date for January 2nd. Oh man, after the new year. January 2nd, pretrial hearing, and then jury trial February 1st. So that's what we have on the schedule for now. Oof. They recently asked for a continuance. It was scheduled for, I think, was it October? And then it got pushed out by another couple months. She so badly wanted to hide, she even asked for help for herself, little baby. Dang, that far out. Honestly, time goes by really fast. So in a couple of days, it'll feel like it was a couple of days. I don't know. I feel like time just goes by so fast. It feels like it's far away, but time just goes by so fast, man. And we're already doing Lori Vallow sentencing. Oh yeah, that's the next topic that we're going to talk about. Lori Vallow. So Lori Vallow was found guilty. Chad Daybell, her husband, his trial doesn't start until 2024, but he was supposed to appear in trial, I think a couple of days ago, and then it got canceled or something. But let's go back to Lori Vallow before we talk about Chad. Chad will be a whole different day, but Chad Daybell is possibly facing, or not possibly, but he's facing the death penalty. Lori Vallow, on the other hand, she was facing death penalty. However, before the trial started, that was removed from the table. But her sentencing is going to happen at the end of this month. I don't remember if it was July 31st. I think it was July 31st. But Court TV put out this video. Family of Doomsday cult mom victims prepare to speak at the sentencing. Oh, man, I feel so bad for them. I don't know. Death is really hard to deal with, but to have to come to terms with someone who died because they were murdered and then having to hear the gruesome details, you know, like the autopsy and stuff like that. I don't know. That's hard. That's really fucking hard. Grief is already really hard to deal with, but you're just like layering and compounding more and more shit on top of it. You'll never believe a word she said. She was clearly lying to a lot of the people for a long time, even her mom. In her prom photos, a lot of people think she's wearing those necklaces that store baby ashes. Really? People think it might be the babies. Wait, is there a picture of that? Can you send it to me? I haven't looked at the Treviso Reddit in a long time, so I have not been caught up to date with any of that stuff. Lori escaped DP because I think the state fucked up. They were supposed to like turn something in, and they didn't do it in time. And that's why she was not facing DP anymore. It was something like that. Let's see. We could just read this article really quick, just so I don't mess it up. No, I need to be a subscriber. Something. Oh yeah, I think yeah, the state messed up. They had to like meet a certain deadline. Okay. I'll just read the article really quick then. On Tuesday, Fremont County District Judge Stephen Boyce ruled in favor of the motion to dismiss. In quotations, the court concludes here that as an appropriate discovery sanction, the state will be precluded from seeking the death penalty at trial. The state's May 2nd, 2022 notice of intent to seek the death penalty will be stricken. To be clear, the court does not impose a sanction to penalize the state, but rather to ensure the constitutional right of the defendant is protected, allowing for a reasonable defense to be prepared for this trial. Late disclosure of evidence by state prosecutors who failed to meet the required deadline could also lead to an appeal in this case. Quotations. First, with the defense having timely raised the issue, the court determines that if I were to fail to address a discovery issue, I believe this case would inevitably be reversed on appeal if there was a capital conviction, Boyce said in a ruling. So he wants to avoid having the ruling being reversed, having the ruling be reversed. Boyce said the court has not found any willful conduct on the part of the state and is not concerned with any sort of sanction or punishment. State's prosecutor proposed a continuance to the trial, but Boyce said in the ruling he would not consider that because the defendant has unequivocally asserted her right to a speedy trial. So, yeah, there was some stuff that they were supposed to turn in, I guess, and they messed up on the deadline. Dun 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 dun. Gosh, I'm sorry, y'all. We're gonna have to watch Lori Vallow's smug face. I hate her smug face. Like this right here, in trial. Ugh.
Her, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground. Okay. And was freaking out. Yeah. And so I was just freaking out, and it just went into mama. I'm like, I've got to go to get JJ to school. I've got to get to the kids.
How long have you guys lived here? How long have you lived here?
Like 3 weeks.
Oh, geez. Yeah, okay.
That's why the neighbors don't know.
Gotcha.
Like, hi, neighbor, sorry.
I promise you.
Man, I feel like no matter how serious an issue is, she tries so hard to be likable. Kind of like Letitia. Remember the night where police showed up at Letitia's house trying to find Gannon? And Letitia was trying to like have some lighthearted conversations and like laugh with them and stuff like that.
I have done nothing wrong in this case.
Probably because you murdered your sons. That's probably why he's talking to you. Maybe you should understand.
I didn't necessarily that you felt that way. And one day.
This is her children, by the way, who she had murdered several weeks apart. I don't know. I just don't get it. I don't know. But I guess in her scenario, she was just really fucking greedy with her money.
Murder.
one day we will know what actually happened. Stand Christ when he comes again, and he's coming soon, and we will all stand there, and you will know at that point that he has supported me and has supported me the whole time, and I have not been deceived. I do, and I did exactly what I felt the Lord was instructing me to do.
Ms. Vallow, you can serve. Do you have any questions?
Oh, this is her being served, by the way, while on a vacation trip in Hawaii. This is after her kids were missing.
Questions regarding that?
Look at these two buffoons. They really thought they were going to get away with it. You would have think they would have at least tried to escape to, like, I don't know, Mexico, South America or something like that. But no, they're like, no, we're not going to get caught.
The doomsday cult killer, Lori Daybell, set to be back in court to be sentenced. One of the big questions is, what will little JJ's grandparents be permitted to say in court? There they are after this verdict, but will they be permitted to speak to the court? Will they be able to speak to Lori during this sentencing hearing? Different rules in different jurisdictions. Let's get to the bottom of it. Joining us now here in studio, Court TV legal correspondent Chanley Painter. Chanley, great to see you.
Chanley looks different. Is it because we're used to seeing her with glasses? I saw her recently in a different video and I was like, that's Chanley? She looks so different. I wonder if it's the glasses then. She usually wears glasses, right?
Great to see you. Thanks for having me.
All right.
Because I think her makeup looks the same. Her hair is the same. I think we usually see her with glasses. I'm like, who is this?
So let's start here with Larry and Kay Woodcock, JJ's grandma and grandpa. The reason this case started, the investigation began. Will they be able to speak in court? And you spoke with them.
I did.
I hope they will be able to.
Today, Vinny, in preparation. We are days away from Lori's sentencing in Idaho. She has other pending Arizona cases, but she faces up to life. So in Idaho, there are specific...
Arizona is for her ex-husband, right? Oh man, she's got, it's kind of like with Murdoch. She's got a lot of stuff coming ahead of her. There's a lot going on.
Specific rules on who can speak or give victim impact statements. And so the judge has made his decision based on designated representatives and immediate family members. Well, Kay Woodcock, being the designated representative for JJ, can speak, but Larry cannot. But today, while he said he was disappointed in that decision, he's not keeping quiet, Vinny. He is going to be speaking every chance outside that courthouse, during, before, after, to the media, and he has things that he wants to say. But as far as Kay, she hasn't really planned out that moment. She doesn't know if she's going to write it out, speak from the heart. She's better under pressure, she says, but she does hope to look Lori directly in the eyes. Let's take a listen to what they told me.
I feel like Lori's gonna she's gonna have her head down.
Out of there. When she comes out, they'll be carrying her out.
Yeah.
Say to the judge to hope that he agrees with that.
I haven't started writing yet, but again, I just need to list some things, the cruelness of her actions.
Remember the last time we saw Lori? She looked pissed. She looked pissed at her lawyers. Her lawyers, one specifically, I forgot what his name was. Her lawyer was, I liked him. He said Chad was a loser. He said Chad was a step down. He was talking so much shit about Chad Daybell. I'm sure Lori was not happy with that. I wonder if she's gotten over that yet.
The atrocity is...
No, they're not her parents. They're actually relatives of Lori's fourth husband. The family structure is a little bit weird because her fourth husband adopted his nephew, I believe, from my understanding. And this is JJ's grandparents.
Just
mind-boggling. And I mean, everything she did goes against any moral, legal, ethical, everything. It goes against everything a human should do. And so I don't know. I don't think there's enough words in the English language to describe how deplorable she is. And so I don't know. When I'm ready, it'll just start coming out of me. So.
And I want her to realize, I want Lori Vallow to realize how disgusting she is. I don't know. There are some people that kind of live in like the la la land where they're in denial land and they won't accept their responsibility or anything like that. They're just completely they're living their own damn world. And there are some people I know that are like that. And it's just so unfortunate. There's nothing you can do sometimes to get them to realize that they fucked up. They're a shitty person. But I don't know. I hope she realizes. I want her to realize. I want her to feel bad for everything.
So she will be prepared for that moment, Vinny. She testified, as you know, during the trial, one of the first witnesses. And she said she efforted to look towards Lori to make eye contact, and Lori would never look up at her. So she expects her to be the same.
Because she's a coward.
Not listening, not looking. They think she has no care in the world.
Right.
So
what do they think about her mental health and her
I think Lori Vallow's son, so she has like an older son who also testified as well. I believe he's going to be there for the victim impact statement. From what I've heard. I don't know. I'm sure they'll confirm it.
state of mind?
I think I read that somewhere.
Because what will her defense do? So I wanted to ask the Woodcocks, what do they expect her defense? Because there's some discretion for this judge. That's 10 years up to life for a murder
10
conviction
to life.
in
That's
Idaho.
a lot of discretion.
So,
oh my God, 10. That's such a huge gap. Okay, she ain't getting 10. If she gets 10, we're gonna riot. But we know she ain't gonna get 10. Damn. That's a huge gap right there. 10 to life. Life.
So a PSI has been conducted. The defense can
Life, no
argue
chance
for
parole.
mitigation here, and likely going to cite the fact that she was mentally incompetent a couple of times before the trial. And there's experts that have, mental experts who have consulted with her. Well, the Woodcocks wanted to address that as they expect to hear it. Let's watch.
And I hope she has mild UTI for the rest of her damn life.
I absolutely believe that she was sane. She was, and she is sane.
It's just about sex and greed. That's all it was. And they like to be the leaders of whatever they.
Yeah, but they seem like the type of people. They seem like the type of people that were just basking in the limelight. Even though they only had like a couple followers, like 3 or 4 or something like that, they were basking in it. Holderson pleaded with her to tell them where the kids were when they were missing. The heartbreaking one that I heard was with her sister, Lori Vallow's younger sister, who is pleading with her. I don't think I heard between her son and her, but the one with her sister was really sad because I've been in that situation before where you're trying to talk to someone and you're trying to get through them and it kind of just goes over their head and they're just like la-ling. I don't know. It's just like, I don't understand people like that.
Thought they were leading. So, I mean, I don't, it's not, the religion was a vehicle to get them where they wanted to be. Single from getting rid of their spouses, and Lori's the weight of 2 children. And that's what they did. They used the religion to get them there. And
okay, so what I don't understand is wouldn't another viable option to be? So remember, Lori and Chad were like the losers in their relationship because it was their significant others that were working. I think Charles was pretty successful. I think he put in like $500K income or something like that. And then for Chad, he was losing his relationship as well because he wasn't really working. He was like writing books. It was Tammy, the one that was supporting the family, and they're like 4 or 5 kids. I think they're grown adult kids by now though. But couldn't they have just, I don't know, divorced and asked for spousal support or something like that? Like, couldn't that just been a thing? I don't know. I don't know what the laws are like in their states, but to go to as far as offing both of their spouses, I mean, I guess getting life insurance is way more, but I mean, the risk of, I I don't understand why you would ever take a risk like that. I don't know. You can't rationalize these motherfuckers. These are just greedy people, man, who are very short-sighted. Melanie, oh, weren't they gonna look into that or something like that? Yeah, Melanie is Lori Vallow's niece, right? She married someone that was a follower of Chad Daybell. Oh no, she was married to Brendan Bordeaux, and then he thought that they were trying to assassinate him, right? That's all pending right now, possibly, right? The attempt assassination on Brendan Bordeaux.
And that's all there is to it. Nobody believes that crap because that's all it is crap.
You gotta love the woodcock.
Oh, right here. This is when she was pissed. She was so pissed. Wait, what was the name of Lori Vallow's lawyer? By the way, her lawyers, I believe they're public defenders, okay? I'm pretty sure they didn't want to be there, but they had to. It's their job. Jim Archibald. Yes, Jim Archibald is the... Jim Archibald. He has a voice that you'll never forget. The other attorney was John Thomas. Archibald.
Vinny saying it like it is.
Yeah.
And the big question is will Lori say anything at her sentencing?
Yeah.
Probably not.
I doubt it too, but
I don't know, man. Lori might pull a Letitia. Judge, can I be sentenced to the prison that's for rich people? You know, rich people, and you know, can I get some kosher food? Actually, you know, I'm not Mormon anymore. You know, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if she asks for, you know, maybe some luxurious things while she's being, she's sitting in prison, right? Yeah, prison.
You never know. You also spoke, and we can't forget about Tammy Daybell. She's another victim in all of this. You spoke with Tammy's aunt today.
I did. So Vicky Hoban, she was at the trial. I was the first to interview her then.
So from what I last heard, Tammy and Chad's kids were supporting Chad because they didn't believe that the father had anything to do with the murders of the children. They thought that Lori was being manipulative. But I do wonder, because I haven't heard from his kids yet, did they change their mind? Did they finally think that, like, oh, you know what, actually, maybe my dad is a POS? Because I'm kind of surprised to hear that none of the kids are there for the victim impact statement for their mom. But maybe they want it to be, and they decided to choose Tammy's sister instead. Or maybe they don't believe that Chad had anything to do with it.
And turns out she's now the designated representative for Tammy Daybell. Tammy's mother passed away about a month ago, and so Vicky petitioned the court to be named in her mother's stead. So I caught up with her today about that. It was just announced last night that she would be able to give a statement. So this is what she told me.
I wonder what her kids think.
You actually had to write your own letter. This is something that you advocated for. You had to fight to have this opportunity. Why was it so important to you?
You know, I just had promised my sister last summer, during the summers, I would go visit her. We would shoot this huge oak tree, I think it was, and my other sister Barbara and I would go sit under the tree and visit with her. And the last couple of years, she's been in a wheelchair, so she had been getting progressively sick. We were talking about it, and she said, "I'm just in bad shape," and my sister and I were talking, and we both said to her, where you can't walk, we'll walk for you, or we'll carry you. And yeah, so it was important to me to follow through with that promise to her.
Dude, those kids, they're victims, but it's hard not to judge them for supporting him. I think it's okay to support family members initially, but then if you're like ignoring evidence and you're not willing to like listen to the truth and you're going to support them no matter what, at that point, I don't care. But I think it's okay initially when someone's accused of a crime, if you're like standing by their side, because, you know, you want to believe your family members. You don't want to believe that they're lying to you. You don't want to believe that they're murderers. You know, with Letitia Stauch's daughter, I mean, she stood by her mom. And then when she realized that her mom really did it, that's when she was like, oh, you know what? Bye.
So she's planning a statement, Vinny. Right now she has 7 pages written. She's going to parse it down a bit to speak to the judge. But here's a list of who has been qualified to speak so far, just so we know.
Oh,
Colby
cool.
Ryan, of course, the brother of the
Right.
victims in the case. And then Samantha Gillian, she was actually the sister of Tammy. She testified during the trial. She's in
Yeah, Summer. Oh, Summer Shiflett. I felt so bad, like just listening to those calls and stuff. Colby Ryan is Lori Vallow's oldest son. Summer Shiflett's her younger sister.
an immediate family member. She's going to give a presentation. And then Summer Shiflett, Tylee's representative, Kate Woodcock, JJ's, and then Vicki Hope and Tammy Daybell's representative. So that's what we can expect on July 31st.
July 31st. Charlie Payne?
And I do feel bad for the family members of these victims because when you're giving these statements, you want the person that did it, you want them to like feel bad, maybe feel like, you know, some sort of like regret, to react to it, maybe to cry. But I feel like with Lori Vallow, they might not get a reaction from her. And that kind of sucks.
Thank you so much. All right, let's bring back in our think tank. Eklund, Mercy, Kirk Nerman, Nima Romani with us. Nima?
Okay, do we want to listen to think tank? Let's see. 3 minutes, let's do it.
There's discretion here in this one. I mean, it's 10 to life. Arguments are going to be made. What do you expect this sentencing to look like and to sound like?
Vinny, if it's anything less than life, it'd be a huge miscarriage of justice. I mean, this judge already took the death penalty off the table. Maybe that was appropriate for the prosecutorial misconduct, but Lori Vallow does not deserve any consideration whatsoever. I mean, I can't imagine what Colby's going to say. His testimony was so powerful when he looked her in the eye and said, "You murdered my siblings." I mean, what is worse than murdering your own children, one of whom has special needs, and burying them in the backyard? She's shown no remorse whatsoever. She deserves no leniency, and I fully expect her to get a life sentence.
Yep.
Kirk, any chance that she speaks?
There could be. You know, it's interesting because we bring up this supposition earlier, whether or not she was going to testify, you know, during the trial. What was she going to say, possibly about Chad? And we heard about that, their desire for a joint meeting, right? They wanted to get together and talk. And I'm wondering if they didn't find ways through third parties, what have you, to communicate with each other to decide what she was going to say. Was she going to take the blame to save the prophet, what have you? That's going to be, to me, the most interesting part of this, because Nima's right, 100%. She deserves life. She's going to get life. And her lawyers have probably...
I don't know. Just her being so smug. Ugh. What is up with Chad? Oh my God, Chad.
Told her that no matter what they do or what they say, she's going to get that out.
Chad looking like a caveman over there.
So the question is, even with this case pending in Arizona, is she going to try to save her prophet, the man who hasn't been convicted yet, and fall on the sword, so to speak? And I doubt it, but it could be something that she does if she really believes in these prophecies.
Eklund, everything I've gathered, I believe that she is completely devoted to Chad the prophet. Chad, on the other hand, I don't know. I'm not necessarily convinced of that fact. Do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. Thinking. You think Chad's gonna throw Lori under the bus? If he's facing DP, you think he's gonna try to do everything he can? Oh man, I hope he throws Lori under the bus, and I hope Lori finds out and gets her heart broken. And then I hope Chad, you know, ends up getting max penalty anyways.
It's possible that Lori at Chad's trial or at her sentencing comes out and says, "It was me, it was me, it was me. Chad had nothing to do with it."
Just the simple fact that she was found incompetent a few times, and just based off of the trial, she's been frolicking through the Valley of the Dolls. You can tell that she was highly medicated just to be competent for trial. I think that lends itself to a lot of clarity.
Was she? Was she heavily medicated for trial?
And it wouldn't surprise me if she offered a proffer. And I think that offering a proffer to the families, telling them what actually happened to the children, can spare her some time. So
she's not going to do it.
It's all on her. And being a defense attorney, you have no idea. It is up to the minute with regards to what the defendant wants to do. They can live.
Yeah, that's what I want to know. I want to know, does Chad's children, did they see the text messages that their dad wrote? Or they just think that, like, Lori forced him to write that.
Literally wait until right immediately when they're supposed to be called, and that's when they decide to do what they're going to do.
And some of these defendants are very unpredictable, right, Kirk? Anyway.
Well, that's Lori right there. So we'll keep an eye out for July 31st. That's in 10 days from now. July 31st, Monday, and Lori Vallow sentencing. Now, I think the judge said that they will have that live. So the entire trial wasn't live, but at some point they did give, I think, was it Law and Crime? Law and Crime was able to release like the audio recordings afterwards, but the verdict was live. So I'm assuming the sentencing may be live as well. But I haven't heard anything about that. What else is there? I think that's basically all the topics that I wanted to cover today. However, I'm a little bit curious because this keeps popping up on my feed. Do you guys know who Carly Russell is? Is she missing right now? Or is she not missing? Is she Sherry Pepino? Or are people jumping to conclusions? She keeps popping up on my feed. Something about Carly Russell, whether or not she was found. Did she say she was like kidnapped or something? I don't know. There was a short video that popped up from Court TV as well. And I just want to know what's going on. Because she's been popping up my feed so many times. I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just watch it. Hoax, fraud. So we have a Sherry Papini in our hands, possibly. Do we know for sure? Or are we jumping to conclusions? She faked a disappearance. Why? I don't know anything. I haven't read anything. I haven't watched any videos. I've only seen the YouTube thumbnails and the YouTube titles. They had a conference. Revenge on her cheating boyfriend? Legit Sherry Papini? Do these people not watch the news? Well, I guess like if you're not into true crime, maybe you won't know who Sherry Papini is. Did she not watch Gone Girl? Maybe she did watch Gone Girl. And, and technically in the movie Gone Girl, she did get away with it. She got what she wanted. She called 911 that she found a toddler on the side of the road. She was only missing for a couple days. She Googled the movie Take It. No, she did not. Oh, no. Okay, well, I don't know anything about her, but she popped up my feed. Let's watch. It's on Court TV.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Frank and Pam Bearfield Training Center. I'm Captain Keith Sescaleba, that's spelled Keithczeskieleba.
What now? What do we have here? Hoover police revealed Carly Russell's internet searches and text conversation leading up to her disappearance. On July 13, very recent, Russell reported seeing a toddler on the side of the road before she disappeared, capturing the nation's attention. She showed up at her family's home 2 days later. Oh, no.
With the Hoover Police Department. Joining me at the podium today will be Hoover Mayor Frank Brocato, spelled B-R-O-C-A-T-O, and Hoover Police Chief Nick Durzis, spelled
the captions are off.
D-E-R-Z-I-S. You may also hear from Lieutenant Daniel.
Wait, so where did she go when she was missing? Where was she? She was missing for 49 hours and walked home like nothing happened?
Spelled
Natalie, the lawyer chick, is covering it right now.
Of the Hoover Police Investigations Division. Mayor Brocato will make a brief opening statement, and then Chief Durzis will read a prepared statement.
Wait, what? Beyonce concert? She went to a Beyonce concert? What? She went to a hotel, Red Roof Inn.
After Chief's statement is complete, there will be an opportunity to ask a few questions regarding this investigation. Keep in mind that this is still an ongoing investigation, so there may be some questions that we cannot answer. With that, I will turn it over to Mayor Brocato.
Thank you and good afternoon for you all coming today. You know, 6 days ago, our community learned about the disappearance of Carly Russell, and it sent fear and pandemonium not just through our city, but the entire state and the nation as well. The media quickly...
The police only interviewed her once. Are there interview footages on the internet? They haven't been able to again? Did she lawyer up?
Joined us to get the word out about Carly. our community sprung into action, and they organized search parties, arranged prayer vigils, and they took other steps that I'm not even aware of to help in this situation. The Hoover Police Department quickly rallied multiple partner agencies, stopping at nothing to find Carly.
Oh my goodness. Were there other... Can you imagine the amount of... Let's say if she did lie about this, can you imagine all the resources that she took up when there were probably real emergency shit? That's some fucked up shit. Gothic being... Gothic says she stole a robe and a roll of toilet paper from her job. What? She works at a salon. She Googled how to steal from a cash register. God, no way. Oh my goodness.
I'd like to take this time to say thank you first to the Hoover Police Department, our partner agencies, our wonderful community.
Well, her parents weren't in on it, or do you guys think that they were in on it? Her parents' interview on YouTube is completely clear. How do people not realize that Google's a traitor? She showed the freeway footage. No toddler, no kidnapping. The woman is a real POS. Law enforcement did a great job searching for her. Yeah, go watch the parents' interview, body language. How long is the interview?
And to all those that aided in some way in connection.
Can someone post it in my Discord?
As the days have gone on and more information has been shared, we know everyone has questions. The Hoover Police Department is known for being very methodical and thorough with their investigations. For that reason, we did not feel comfortable speaking in detail publicly until now. It is important that we share this information now so that our community can be put at ease. So at this time, I'll turn the microphone over to Hoover Police Chief Nick Dursis. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank everyone for being here today.
Let's speed this up.
Besides me stands a team who played a significant role in this investigation. I want to thank our department, members of surrounding local law enforcement agencies, the FBI, Secret Service, United States Marshals, and ALEA for their assistance in this case. We said from the evening of July 13th, our focus would be the safe return of Carly Russell. That occurred on Saturday, July 15th, approximately 49 hours after she called 911 and disappeared. From that point, our focus has been to determine Carly's whereabouts during that time and what exactly took place. Let me say up front, this investigation is not over. We're still working this case, and we'll work in this case until we uncover every piece of evidence that helps us account.
What? They raised $63K? Was it on GoFundMe? Can GoFundMe, do they have an option where that money just goes back to everyone that donated?
For the 49 hours that Carly Russell was missing. However, through the public interest, and in some cases, public fear that this story has generated, we owe it to our citizens to tell them the facts that we have uncovered. So I will give you the facts that we know today. On July 13th, at approximately 8:20 p.m., Carly left work from a business at the Summit. Surveillance video from her place of employment shows Carly concealed a dark-colored bathrobe, a roll of toilet paper, and other items belonging to the business prior to her departure. She ordered food from Taziki's at the Colonnade and traveled there.
Her family keeps preventing her from talking to the police, saying she's traumatized, she needs time. Her family needs time to love on her. I mean, her family probably believes her, right? We were just talking about this earlier. Like, there are family members that will believe because, you know, they don't want to believe their family members lying and stuff like that. Or maybe they just want to protect them as all cause, even though they're like a crap person, right? I don't know. But her job didn't like a large amount of money. Well, I hope if this is all a lie, I hope everyone can get their money back. Or that money can go to a different cause or something.
She then traveled to Target on 280, where she purchased some granola bars and Cheez-Its. From there, she remained in the parking lot at that shopping center until 9:21 p.m. when she drove to I-459. Carly communicated on her cell phone with individuals known to her while on her path of travel up to the point of calling 911 at 9:34 p.m. And at this time, we will play the 911 call in its entirety.
Wait, what is a police presser? Police presser underway. I thought it was supposed to say police pressure, but what is police presser? Crime Stoppers donated $5K. Her family pays her work, donated $25K.
On Interstate 459, and there's just a kid just walking by themselves. Hold on. Where on 459 are you? I'm right next to the exit 10 by the time.
Oh, is just like a cool way of saying press conference? Presser. Police presser. I didn't know that. Police presser. Oh. Learn something new.
Yes. Okay, and were you headed southbound or northbound? Okay, towards Tuscaloosa or towards 280? Towards Tuscaloosa. Okay, and was the child on the left or right side? On the right side. Were they walking northbound or southbound? They're walking towards Tuscaloosa.
Wow, he is giving every detail they've learned in this investigation. Don't worry, we are hitting the pause button. We have to take a commercial break. But when we come back, they're learning from you, right. Okay, we've got
25-year-old. Oh, she's 25 years old. Carly Russell returned home Saturday night after being the focus of a 2-day search. Did she at least show up in like blood, like in the Gone Girl thing?
Carly called a relative after speaking with the 911 operator. She went missing during that conversation sometime after 9:36 p.m. Traffic camera footage was obtained which depicted this portion of the incident, and that footage was analyzed as part of the investigation in conjunction with the 911 call and cell phone data to accurately determine the time frame. Carly's 911 call remains the only report of a child on the interstate, despite numerous vehicles passing through the area at that time. No one has called to report that a child is missing, and the Hoover Police Department did not locate any evidence of a small child walking down the interstate. Data from Carly's phone, including her Life 360 app, shows that she traveled approximately 600 yards in her vehicle while she was on the phone with 911, stating that she was following a child. 600 yards. That is 6 football fields straight.
So she was driving.
600 yards. The Hoover 911 Center received a second call from Carly's mother, stating that a relative was on the phone with her when they heard Carly scream, and then they had an open phone line. Hoover police officers arrived on the scene within 5 minutes of being dispatched, and several other officers arrived shortly.
I don't understand. Guys, we live in an age where there's like surveillance sometimes, you know? Like surveillance footages. Teslas have like their dash cam cameras. Sometimes there's like the red light cameras. Like, how could you think you would get away with this?
They located Carly's wig.
I don't know. She does live in Alabama. I mean, does she think Alabama doesn't have like technology or something like that?
And cell phone in the grass near the vehicle. Her purse was located in the front seat of her vehicle with her Apple Watch in the purse. The food she ordered for Tzatziki's was also in the car. The items she purchased from Target, as well as the items taken from her place of employment, were not in the vehicle, nor were they located anywhere around the scene. Hoover Police deployed all available assets from the point in search for Carly. Additional resources were called in to include our own drone unit, crime scene investigators. Numerous detectives responded to the scene. Throughout the day Friday, officers from surrounded local and federal agencies assisted Hoover Police in the search for Carly Russell. Officers returned to the scene on 459 to conduct a thorough line search.
Sorry, I slowed it down because he speaks fast. I like the way he speaks.
Search for evidence. K-9 teams from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department responded to check for any sign of Carly, the child that she claimed to see, and anything else that could be considered evidence in this case. Those searches all turned up empty. Private citizens, including search parties organized by her family, friends, began looking everywhere that they could to find any trace. These searches took place throughout the day Friday and again on Saturday, yielding nothing. At 10:44 p.m. on July 15th, the Hoover 911 Center receives a call from Carly's residence stating that she returned home on foot.
She didn't even know if the kid she found was a boy or a girl, that it just had a shirt and a diaper on. She came home running naked, apparently, or at least not clothed all the way. She said the kid was about 4 or 5, no shoes on. They apparently walked 6 football fields and drove along the interstate following the child. Came home with $107 folded in her sock.
In subsequent investigations, detectives obtained surveillance footage of Carly walking down the sidewalk alone prior to arrival at her residence. She was conscious and speaking with paramedics when she was transported to UAB. Detectives were able to obtain a brief statement from her prior to being treated and released.
I wonder how long they got to talk to her for.
During the statement, she told detectives that while traveling down the interstate, she saw a baby walking down the side of the road and called 911. She stated when she got out of her vehicle to check on the child, a man came out of the trees and mumbled that he was checking on the baby. She claimed that the man then picked her up and she screamed. She stated he then made her go over a fence. She claims he then forced her into a car, and the next thing she remembers is being in the trailer of an 18-wheeler.
But she doesn't mention how she was like coerced into all of this. Like, did the man have a gun? Did he have a knife?
She stated that the male was with a female. However, she never saw the female, only hearing her voice. She also told detectives she could hear a baby crying. She told detectives the male had orange hair with a big bald spot on the back. She said she was able to escape the 18-wheeler and fled on foot, only to be captured again and then was put in a car. She claimed she was then blindfolded and was not tied up because the captor said they did not want to leave impressions on her wrists. She said that they took her into a house and made her get undressed. She believes they took pictures of her, but she does not remember them having any physical or sexual contact. She stated the next day she woke up and was fed cheese crackers by the female. She said the woman also played with her hair, but could not remember anything else. At some point, she was put back in a vehicle she claims was able to escape while it was in the West Hoover area. She told detectives she ran through lots of woods until she came out near her residence. During this interview, detectives noted that Carly had a small injury to her lip, and she claimed that her head was hurting. She also had a tear in her shirt. Detectives also noted that she had $107 cash.
Wait, do they have surveillance footage of her checking into the Red Roof Inn or something like that? Oh my God.
In her right sock.
All right, I mean, this is detailed. All where was sir after a desperate 48 hours, driving home late at night. Russell's friend could hear her call out to the child, followed by a scream, and then nothing. But after a desperate 48-hour search, Russell showed up at her parents' house, seemingly unscathed.
All right, let's get you back to that press.
After giving her time to rest. Detectives continue analyzing data from Carly's cell phone that was left behind at the scene. We enlisted the help of the United States Secret Service in conducting this analysis. Part of what data includes several internet searches in the days leading up to her disappearance that I think are very relevant to this case. On July 11th at 7:30 a.m., the term, "Do you have to pay for an Amber Alert?" was searched. On July 13th at 1:03 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term, "How to take money from a register without being caught," was searched. On July 13th at 2:13 a.m., the day of her disappearance, the term Birmingham bus station was searched. On July 13th, 2:30
Birmingham bus station is because they think she like walked on foot and took the bus somewhere?
35 a.m., a search for a one-way bus ticket from Birmingham to Nashville was conducted with a departure date of July 13th.
Oh no.
On July 13th at 12:10 p.m., a search for the movie Taken, a film about abduction, was
Maybe she's just a huge fan of Liam Neeson, okay?
conducted. There were 2 searches related to Amber Alerts on a computer at Carly's place of employment, including one regarding the maximum age of an Amber Alert.
Oh, did she want an Amber Alert to go off so her boyfriend would see it on his phone? You think that's what she was trying to do? From my understanding, aren't Amber Alerts mostly just reserved for children?
There were other searches on Carly's phone.
I mean, I know sometimes like the iPhone, they'll have like the alerts for like when there's like a missing elderly or like a child that's been abducted and other stuff like that, but
that appeared to shed some light on her mindset. But out of respect for her privacy, we will not be releasing the content of those searches at this time. We've asked to interview Carly a second time, but have not been granted that request. As you can see, there are many questions left to be answered, but only Carly can provide those answers. What we can say is that we've been unable to verify most of Carly's initial statement made to investigators, and we have no reason to believe that there is a threat to the public safety related to this particular case. Thank you very much.
All right. With that, we'll open the floor for some questions. Please raise your hand and I will call on you. Carol.
Chief, do you expect any charges against Carly Russell in connection with the disappearance and in connection with what was taken from the Woodhouse Spa?
Sherry Papini, what did she get? 18 months? Sherry Papini, mother of 2, sentenced 18 months in prison for faking her own kidnapping so she can go back to her former former boyfriend, which led a 3-week multi-state search before she resurfaced. Where was Sherry Papini hiding out? Do y'all know? Where was she at? Sherry Papini, oh yeah, she said she was abducted by 2 Hispanic women. Oh my God. Where did she go? Papini never gave a rational explanation for her behavior, included months of careful planning. See, here's the thing. You're not when you're trying to do stuff like this, don't be Googling like Taken. Google other people who are trying to do the things that you're trying to do. So she should have Googled Sherry Papini.
Right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfect.
She was at her ex-boyfriend's house the entire time. Oh no. Oh no. That's right, because her husband, she had a husband at the time, right? Jesus.
To be honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed. But right now, our focus is to determine those 49 hours, so the investigation continues. So to be perfectly honest with you, that hasn't even entered our mind or been discussed.
One more question. Is it surprising to you that the family has not been cooperative in returning to be questioned?
Well, I think the family stated to us that they didn't think that in her mental state right now, because of trauma of the incident, that she's not ready to talk, is what we've been told.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah, question for Chief. You stated that the abductor had orange hair. Was this abductor black male? Was it female? Black female? White female?
I believe it's a white male. Am I correct by saying that? Was it ever? Yeah, white male.
She said it was a white dude with orange hair and a bald spot.
Is this alleged abductor yet on loose in the Hoover area?
Don't believe so.
Yes, ma'am. Chief Brittany Dio, WBRC. Has a toxicology report been done, and were any drugs or illegal substances found in her system?
We have no report of that.
Is any indication of mental illness in this case?
Not that I'm aware of.
Lisa.
There's been a concern in the community that if this turned out not to be a true story, that the next time a young woman of color was missing, that it might not be taken seriously. How would you respond to that?
I'd respond to say that we investigate every crime to the fullest, just like we have this one.
Yeah, don't let one person fuck it up for other people if she's lying.
Right here.
Was she traveling with anyone? Excuse me. Was she traveling with anyone since the
Wow,
time she disappeared, to your knowledge?
Not to my knowledge.
Chief, I know you said you weren't able to verify a lot of aspects of the story. Where do you think she went, and how would you characterize what happened here?
You know, that's the $100 question. You know, we pretty much know exactly what took place from the time she left work until she got on the 911 call, and we can see getting out of the car on the interstate from that footage. And after that, I think
Carly's boyfriend has completely deleted her from his social media. Oh, like deleted all her pictures and stuff. How long were they broken up, or were they still together and he cheated?
She only knows. We don't know.
Well, one quick follow-up. Her parents. Did you speak with Carly's parents, and why do you think it is they were so adamant that there was an abductor?
Yeah, I think parents are believing what their daughter's saying, and we've had a very good rapport with parents. Met with them on several occasions. I've talked to them today a few times, and to make them understand that we're under pressure from our community, not only in our community of the state, but now.
Ronald McDonald, no.
Actually, when the story hit, and I just wanted them to understand that today we were going to have a press conference, and what we were going to detail today are facts, and everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not innuendos. It's not what I think. It's not what these detectives think. It is the factual information that we have.
Chief, WBRC, how much time do you think you'll give the family before going back to Carly for sentencing?
Well, I think our detectives have talked to the parents, and we're ready. We're ready to talk as soon as she's ready.
Okay, let's watch this one.
That moment you all first laid eyes on her again.
Does it just go straight to the interview?
What was it like?
To me, I mean, just so much joy. And
this morning, in an exclusive, are being missing.
To hug her, so we could, but I had to stand back because she.
This is 3 days ago. The parents of Carly Russell, 25-year-old. Wow, they look really young. More than 48 hours.
She was not in a good state, so we had to stand back and let medical professionals work with her. But
if she lied about this whole thing and then she let her parents do this national interview, shame on her. I don't know, shame on her to let her parents go up there on TV if she's lying.
It's
Last Thursday, police say Carly called 911 to report a toddler walking alone on the interstate. She pulled over while on the phone with a family member who described hearing Carly scream.
Her vehicle's unlocked, running. All her personal belongings except for her phone.
On the scene, police found no sign of Carly or a child, and they say no children were reported as missing during that time period. The Russells waited in agony until Saturday night.
There were actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know people could be so evil.
Authorities have not indicated where Carly was during the 48 hours she was missing or what happened. Her parents declined to share what their daughter told them, citing the ongoing investigation.
And can you tell me what happened Saturday night? Did you just get a knock at the door?
Anything leading to the case itself, we can't discuss that.
But they say speculation about the circumstances surrounding Carly's disappearance are only making things worse.
She's having to deal with the trauma of people just making completely false allegations about her.
Her family now urging the public to let the investigation play out, but mentioning an abductor. Her mother asking to read a brief message to the public.
Carly has given detectives her statement so that they can continue to pursue her abductor.
Do you believe that there's an abductor still out there?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
NBC News has reached out to the Hoover Police Department to ask whether they're looking for an individual involved. Police have just said they're following up on all information provided by Carly.
And when I talked to you all on Saturday, you also said your daughter is a fighter and she would find
I think they believe her.
a way back to you.
I felt that in my heart.
Is that what happened?
She did. She found her way back to us. However, we can't discuss the details of that.
But they say one thing is clear.
Do you believe she was fighting for her life?
Oh, she definitely fought for her life. There were moments when she physically had to fight for her life, and there were moments when she had to mentally fight for her life.
But she made it back to you.
I feel like the dad's not talking much, though.
She made it back.
Yeah, she did make it back. All right, Priscilla, so investigators are obviously busy on...
I feel like maybe I feel like they believe her, or maybe they want to believe her. I feel like if you're giving I don't know. I feel like there would be so much more trauma going on. But yeah, I feel like the dad, I don't know. Dad's just like, But I mean, I can understand wanting to believe your kid, your family member, when stuff like this happens.
Actually just so many calls and texts from people who maliciously lied to us. I just didn't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's her. Was there anything else about her that you guys wanted to watch? I just want to know what this was all about, and I figured you guys would know a lot of details, so I wanted to watch it on stream. Yeah, I mean, if all of this was a lie, I would feel so bad. Because imagine all the stuff that she put her parents through. You know, her potentially being lost for, 2 days? Bet you they didn't sleep. Bet you it was really hard to eat. I don't know, that's tough. Hey, Chai, how are you doing today? How's it going? I'm doing okay. I'm just chilling. I think that was it. Let me see if there's anything else that popped in my feed. Let's go into my...
And everything that I've told you today is actual facts. It's not in...
Let's see. So we covered the Sarah Boone one. Remove. Alexee Trevizo covered. Lori Vallow. Sentencing coming up soon. I might watch the Taylor Schabiz pre-trial hearing, but not today. It's about 2 hours long. You watched the Carly Russell stuff. Oh man. This is random, but yesterday on when I was streaming on Twitch, we were watching the Uncle Roger Hate Rachel Ray Adobo. Have you guys seen that yet? Rachel Ray has made some very scary Asian foods. I think her pho one was really scary. Oh my god, she tried to make pho. It looked so nasty. And then I think she tried to make pad thai or something. I forgot. She made like a Thai dish or something that looked really, oh god, it looked horrible. Oh gosh. The Rachel Ray adobo one, however, it's like a Filipino, like mainly like sometimes like chicken or pork dish. But the meat looked pretty good. But oh my gosh, she butchered the rice so bad. No, I already watched it. We watched it yesterday on YouTube, on Twitch. There's a lot of gun smoke in this one. Understand the mom's sentiments, but this looks like hocus pocus. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We'll wait and see. So far, it doesn't look good. Rachel Ray's female Jamie Oliver. Yeah, that's what he says. I'm going to delete that because we saw it already. I made the worst rice for like 20 years. Wait, what do you mean? How did you mess up your rice? I finally figured it out. Yeah, my rice is not perfect either. But, oh my God, Rachel Ray put like chunks of coriander seeds in the rice. Can you imagine biting into your rice and then you're biting into chunks of coriander seed just because of texture? I don't know. And like chunks of garlic. I don't know. It looked not delicious. All right. Was there anything else? Last stream, I didn't post segments of last stream yet. We covered a lot last stream, actually. Do you guys remember what we covered last stream? Last stream we covered the New York serial killer. We covered the Taylor Schabiz stuff. It was like kind of graphic. And then talked a little bit about Sarah Boone. Oh, Koberger stuff. We talked about that as well. Oh, I haven't talked about the Chad Dorman stuff. God, I don't know. That case is like really sad. But there are new details that came out about what happened that day. I don't know. It's bizarre. Grains are tender, and every grain falls separately. I made a crunchy chili once. Crunchy chili rice. Did you not cook the rice all the way? We do have rice cookers. It's just that I have issues with like how much water to put in there. The rice made me gag, especially the coriander seeds. Yep. And the boiled garlic. Yep. Ugh. I don't know, man. I don't know. I used to love watching Rachel Ray and her $40 a day. You guys remember that? She did like the $40 a day. She would travel somewhere, spend $40. And I was like, nah, there's no way she can spend $40. But she actually did. She actually did a good job. Oh, dried beans. Yeah, I think with beans, you're supposed to leave them in water overnight, right? No, the finger method is like, does not work. Finger method does not work. Everyone's like, oh, use the finger method. Well, everyone has different size fingers. I don't know. Finger method does not work. And it depends on what rice you're cooking too. Like if you're making Japanese rice, jasmine rice, brown rice, like, I don't know. I feel like it's different. Blah. Yeah, those are soaked for hours and like still hard. Yeah, I had issues with making it was like red bean rice or something like that too. The beans are still hard. Oh, pressure cook the beans. Got them alien ass fingers. Yeah, I do have some long fingers. All right, y'all. Anything else you guys want to chat about before we go? I hope you guys have a happy Friday. Next week, Taylor Schabiz trial stuff should be starting up, and then the week after that, we have Lord Vallow sentencing. But anything else you guys want to tackle before we head out? I haven't covered the Rudy stuff yet. I haven't watched any videos. I was going to watch it with you guys, but I guess I haven't had time. I've been covering like all the other stuff going on. But I haven't heard anything about the Rudy stuff either. I've only heard from what you guys said. Great videos in chat today. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Have a great weekend. I hope you guys have a good weekend. I woke up today. I woke up really early because I thought Cheryl had to go outside. So I took him outside and then I decided to eat a large breakfast. I had like this Thai pork belly dish and this other pork belly crispy thing and rice. And it was so heavy, guys. Oh my God. It was so freaking heavy. And it was so saucy too. Oh, they put way too much sauce in there. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to lay on the couch really quick. And I fell asleep for like 2 to 3 hours. That's why I started my stream so late today. But it was a great nap though. I took a nap on the couch but the thing was like I woke up at 7:30 and then I ate breakfast and then I think I laid on the couch at 9. Like who does that? If you're using chopsticks, use more water and the rice sticks together. Wait, what? Chopsticks? What? Yeah, and then so I'll try to edit all the videos from the live stream. So if you missed the live streams, I'm gonna have these videos edited. I've just been really like lazy and stuff. So enjoy the weekend, everyone. Yeah, have a good weekend. You love napping. I haven't napped in so long. But yeah, guys, thanks for hanging out. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. It was great chatting with you. You guys are my true crime peoples. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good weekend. Take care, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, everyone. See ya. Oh, join the Discord too if you're new. Join the Discord. Feel free. It's a community hangout area, and I also stream on Twitch as well.